You are listening to the Cigar Noise Boys. Well on his way, head in a cloud, the man of 1,000 voices talking perfectly loud. But nobody ever hears him or the sound he appears to make, and he never seems to notice.
The Eagles.
Nope.
Disturbed?
No. That was The Fool on the Hill by the Beatles.
Oh, man.
Happy
Never even heard of that.
Happy April Fool's Day, everyone, even though it's kind of canceled this year. What's up,
Okay.
everybody? Cigar Noise Boys here. Tyler and Dom. Joined this week by Joe DesMarais. What's up, Joe?
What's happening, boys? Happy to be here, man.
So,
Thank you.
Joe, you know Tyler, correct?
I do. Tyler's the man.
How did
Great,
you
yeah.
How did you guys meet? Why do you still keep in contact with him?
Just look at him, man. He's got some big teddy bear. Just barrel laughs, loves this industry as much as I do. He's I think he's one of the top authorities on all things cigars, man. He's got a very versed palate, smokes everything. Just a great humble dude, like-minded individual, and we hit it off, man. Finally get to meet him at IPCPR a couple of years ago. We've been kind of bullshitting back and forth and chiming in all the cigar shows and this and that, and
Yeah.
When you met him at IPCPR, did you just see him standing in a corner by himself and you felt bad? Because that's how we met.
Actually, he had a crowd, man. He had a crowd around him. He was holding court.
No.
He had Skip and Matt Booth and everybody. He's just a good regular dude, man. And people dig him. Personality speaks volumes, you know.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I saw Joe at the Circle Bar, and I knew Joe from when he was on Stogie Geeks, and I told him I was a big fan of that podcast, and we ended up talking to like 3 a.m. at the bar. I forgot what you were drinking. You were drinking Rum Runners, right?
Yeah. I probably drink too much everything, but yeah, that thing all night, Rum Runners all day, crush them.
Yeah.
Crush 'em.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, Tyler, I thought you just completely got me for April Fool's Day.
Oh, okay.
We were texting. First of all, you suck at texting. You don't reply, and then you reply with one word. So I asked, let me know what time we're going to do this podcast tomorrow. Also, send me we'll get into what we're going to talk about today in a bit, but send me your list. And then you said, it'll have to be in the morning, 2 a.m. your time. So I'm just like, dude, are you serious? I can stay up that late. I just want to know. I don't want to stay up for nothing. And you just weren't responding.
I went to bed.
And so I was talking it over with my girlfriend. I was just like, I might have to stay up till 2 a.m. to do this podcast. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, though. He might be joking. And then I realized, it's April Fool's Day. But you didn't even mean to do that. You just suck at texting.
No, because we established what time we were doing the podcast at, and some reason you said you never got the text, and then you were asking me give me the homework assignment as soon as I could. So I'm like, dude, I can't do it now. I'll do it in the morning. I'll send you the list in the morning. And like right when I got to work, I did it at like 4 a.m. So like I sent it to you at like 2 a.m. your time.
You use the pronoun game, man. You said, I'll do it in the morning. You got to clarify what it is. What is the antecedent? Are you talking about the podcast or the list? I'm just nerding out.
When have we ever done something that early? A 2 a.m. podcast.
That's what I don't know. People have time nowadays. Everyone's at home.
I'm still working. Joe's still working.
Yeah.
I'm kind of working. They have me reading books and writing answers to like study guide questions on how to teach, so that I don't forget how to teach over this hiatus.
What up?
Yeah, well,
I teach middle school literature and spelling.
Very commendable, man. Awesome.
Yep, thanks. All right, so what's everyone smoking right now? Starting with you, Tyler, then going to you, Joe.
well, in the spirit of our next topic, whenever we do it, I'm smoking the Aging Room, Nicaraguan. Here, I'm showing you guys. You guys can see it. Well, you guys can see it, but not the listeners. The Quattro, Nicaraguan torpedo. Where did that one go?
You see me?
The hell? I don't see you.
I got you.
All right.
Over the Southern Draw, Cedrus, Bellicoso, the Hogan size. My personal favorite stick of all the brands that I rep, and it's a daily go-to. I can't smoke enough of these things.
Nice.
Delicious.
Nice.
I'm smoking Southern Draw Kudzu. Is it Kudzu or Kudzu?
I go kudzu, but
Kudzu.
whatever, man.
That's my first time with one of these.
Stick number 2 right there.
All right, Tyler, this is your idea. What are we doing today?
Okay. I just wanted to say one thing real quick about the Cedrus line. Joe, I haven't smoked any of the other sizes. I do have a Lancero. I got TPE. How do the other sizes smoke compared to that box press Bellicoso?
I have yet to smoke the Lancero. I'm beyond excited to finally get it. A new round of samples coming in sometime this week. So
Nice.
Anticipating there's going to be a couple of those. That is the most excited I've been about a particular release from brands that I rep. I think it smokes the best of the Toro, personally. And then probably the Bellicoso after that, the Busto. The Gordo is a totally different animal.
Ooh.
And yeah, there's a little bit more of a bang in there. I call it, all the particular flavor notes, but I throw that bang in there in particular. Very very woody, nutty, kind of like an aged tobacco note you get with traditional, the regular Cedrus line. But there's something special in that Gordo, and that's not. For me, that's not my particular favorite size. I'm more like a Corona Lancero type of guy. But it's fun to mix that up, mix that in every now and then too. Especially up here in the West, everybody loves the big ring gauge sizes, Tony Soprano size, the big sticks. So I get my hands on those a little bit more on the shop till I'm hanging out there.
Nice. So you would say the bell of the ball, the best line, the best Vitola in the line is the Toro. Then you said, right?
Bell of the ball for me, the Toro. Right now,
and
I feel that Lancero is going to be the coup de grace once I finally smoke it.
And how would you rate it on the old Stogie Geeks on their old Stogie Geeks rating?
So for me, it's a Fight Chuck Norris. It's the top of everything that that I rep in particular. But with the Sumatra wrapper, it's one of those polarizing wrappers that not everybody digs. But I think the transitions and the immense amount of flavor that resides in the Cedrus, it should be, it should tickle everybody's fancy, man. There's something there for everybody. And maybe a little bit stronger, but I think even the lighter smokers, they can come up to it. Certainly, the heavy guys will come down and should fit them right. That's my favorite stick in the line.
Awesome. So, with all this shit going on, I've been listening to podcasts, and one of my favorite podcasts ever was the Bill Simmons podcast on The Ringer, and he does this, there's no sports going on, so he's running out of material. So what he's doing is he's going back and he's redrafting, like the NBA draft, the 1996 NBA draft when it had Allen Iverson and Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen, Stephon Marbury. So I figured we could do a redraft, in our opinion, of what the top 25 cigars of the year should be for 2019. So we all made our list of the ones we smoked, and then we're going to talk about that. Dom, I'm not sure the best way to start it off. I'll let you kind of...
Yeah, so we each put in our lists. Some of us didn't smoke all of them. Obviously, I smoked the least cigars here, probably. So all the cigars that were not smoked were given the same lowest score per each person. It was out of 25. So our number 1 cigar got 25. Our number 2 cigar got 24. Added together, The highest score a cigar can get from all three of us, if placed at number 1, then would be 75, in case anybody's doing the math. And the lowest score a cigar could get was 17, since we had a few that were just all the same. That doesn't matter. Tyler and Joe, you're going to have to help me talk about these cigars because most of them I've smoked once or twice, and I just have the list in front of me. Starting off, number 1 and number 2, probably not a surprise to most people. Number 1 is the Padron 1926, and it received a score of 72. That's near perfect.
You can't go wrong, man. Flawless construction, performs the same way every time. You guys more of a 26 or 64 person?
I'm more of a 64 guy.
I have too. What about natural versus Maduro? I'm guessing
Maduro.
Yeah. Same for me. That's where I'm at. Now this was the 26 Maduro, but it didn't list Maduro or natural. To me,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's up in the air, but yeah, you can't go wrong, man. Obviously, price point too. You can hemorrhage out $20-$30 per stick all the time. God bless you.
Yeah.
Not gonna get rich with those gems in that sweet spot, that $9 to $11 range, but certainly Padron's gonna be there for you every time, and just delicious, man. Hey, it is what it is.
Yep. Number 2 is the Opus X. I forget which Opus this is. Tyler, you wrote Fuente with a score of 66.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not the biggest Opus guy. I do smoke them. I try to put a little bit of I try to age them a little bit, that's that first, the Padron's the Nicaraguan Puro, and then the Opus is all Dominican tobacco, I believe. I mean, that's just one of the, Padron and Opus are like the classic higher end, smokes that everybody knows. So I'm not surprised that those are 1 and 2 on our countdown.
Same.
Agreed.
Number 3, the Illusione Epernay 10th anniversary.
Oh yeah, that was my number 1. Of this particular list, that's the tops, man. I've been smoking Illusione for a while. Love basically everything Dion does. For me, it tastes distinctly different from, most of everything else that's out there. It's not a repeat offender, man, by any means. Every stick's unique, but there's that. For me, you guys can concur if you want, but that classic Dion flavor notes that are in there, it's different, so good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Illusione. It doesn't sell particularly well in Wisconsin, but I know a few shops carry it, but they're not like heavy with the Illusione.
Right.
I'm not sure if I smoked this exact Vitola, but I've had many Epernays, and they're all really good.
Absolutely. Our mutual buddy Nate Williams got me hooked, man. Specifically on the Epernay, but anything Dion's doing, I'm in. I'm on board. And it's not. I think it's Dion doesn't do a tremendous amount of events and Paul, and all that kind of stuff. But those who know, it's one of those top brands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always a win.
Was the one-off? Did that come out this last year? Is that eligible?
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years.
It placed on the list 2 years ago. Also it was number 25, the plus 53. Which that one's $30 for a Robusto. I'm not sure why it's
Smokini had one
a
of those
lot
the other
more
day.
than the other. Yeah, $30.
I don't know if I've smoked that one. I've smoked just the normal one-off. All right, moving right along. Number 4, Plasencia Alma del Fuego. I've only had one of these, and I think it was the Lancero.
What was your opinion of the Lancero?
I thought the Lancero, man.
I don't think it. I think it went out on me. I thought it was okay. It didn't stand out.
Dom, is that normally a brand you reach out for, Plasencia, or was that just you sought out that particular stick?
I didn't look for it. It's at my shop. I really haven't seen any of them at any of the lounges I go to except for this one. And the Plasencia shaped like is it hexagon or octagon? I had to get one of those just because it was unique. And I liked the presentation at IPCPR last year with the Alma. I should try another Vitola. It just the price point is up there. So I don't know. We'll see what happens when everything opens again.
Yeah, it's in that $12 to $14 range, I believe, something like that.
California, it's higher than that because of the tax.
Right. You poor bastard. It's terrible.
All good. Number 5, Tatuaje Nuevitas. Came in right behind point behind Plasencia.
I actually smoked one yesterday, and I enjoy that cigar a lot. I like that little exposed foot it's got. And then it's a Corojo wrapper, Nicaraguan double binder, and then Nicaraguan filler. That's just a really smooth, spicy smoke. I'm a big fan of that. I mean, I like a lot of Tatuajes more than that, but on this list, that's definitely I had a number 6 on my list. So,
yep, number 6 for me as well. Tat was one of the original brands that I first started smoking I don't know, 10 years ago or so. It was. For me, it was Tat and Christoph were the two brands that really, I didn't jump in with the light stuff. I kind of jumped in a little bit more of a bang, and those lines always stick, always jump out for me. But
quick little aside, Tyler, you and I jumped on the SNS virtual HERF on Zoom yesterday. Holy smokes, Lord, man! It was like 75 people. None of them knew how to mute their mics.
Oh no!
It was chaos.
Yeah, it was pretty.
The VHERF's going on, absolutely insane. Everyone's doing them and trying to take part in, a couple of them here and there, but it's definitely, we love this. We love the industry, and there's definitely outlets for us that, especially throughout the day. Michael Herklotz, he's doing his afternoon segment, jumping in, checking those out. A little bit of time. Always a good time.
Yeah, I think it's good because all the lounges are closed now, pretty much. Good way people can still keep in contact.
Absolutely, man.
And actually, the average cigar smoker probably now has greater access to some of these brand owners and reps, which I think is cool.
Totally agree. Yep.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing, man. Mass exposure. It's a small knit community that that we live in here with the cigar world, but next time we can open up a little bit more and expose people. We have some great characters in the industry, great personalities. So, it's always a win.
Yeah, Joe. Hey, Dom. Joe was able to break a record. He broke the Stogie Geeks record for longest cigar podcast ever. They did Developing Palates did an 11-hour podcast.
Yeah, the previous record was 9 hours, 31 minutes. Coop was hell-bent on breaking that record ban, and I had a very small part that jumped in for a couple hours, gabbing with the boys, and pretty special. But I see, I'm sure you guys know too, man, to see the trend going forward, it's going to be every day from here on out, guys going to be ratcheting it up, 13 hours, 24 hours. It's that record will be held for a very short time, I'm sure.
Yeah, Tyler and I are going to have a marathon Monday. I'm going to grab a 30 rack. We're going to start podcasting at 5 a.m.
Yep.
Let's do it, Tyler.
No, we're going to do the shortest podcast. It's going to be 5 seconds long. We should do that, Dom. Post one up and say, hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up? And then that's it.
Yeah.
The shortest podcast
for April Fool's Day, that would have been a good idea. I just didn't plan anything.
You can still do it.
We'll see. Number 6, moving on. Joya de Nicaragua Silver, score 53. So this one really surprised me the first time I smoked it. I think it's by far my favorite in the Joya line. And I usually don't. I like to smoke the smaller brands, boutique brands, or whatever. This you can find in a lot of places, and it's a good smoke.
It is, man. I think I'm still a little partial to the red, but the silver on quite a few occasions. Woke back to back. rip a couple of those silvers back to back. They're enjoyable. They're not going to put you down, and there's definitely a tremendous amount of flavor in there too. It was kind of hit and miss for a lot of people, the Silverman, but it hit me right. Really enjoyed it.
I had it at number 16, so you guys must have had it pretty high. I haven't smoked many of them. I've only smoked one or two of them. It is a good cigar, great price point, but like with when I'm in a mood for something from Hoya, I usually smoke the numero uno.
Yep.
But that's $15, and I actually don't like those thinner ring gauges, but that one's just so smooth. I like it a lot.
Yep.
I wasn't as hot on that one. I like the presentation. I like the band, the coffin.
Yep.
But number 7, JRE Aladino.
I'm a big fan of JRE. I was able to visit their factory and tobacco fields in Honduras and right outside of Danlí, Honduras. A big fan. That's 100% Honduran authentic Corojo, as Julio and Justo like to say. Great cigar. It's a medium bodied one. I really, really like the Corojo Reserva, the Robusto, the 5x50. It's a little pricier. It's like $12. But it is worth it. And that's all aged tobacco, 5 to 7 years. They make 400 boxes a month of the Corojo Reserve, and it's all higher priming. So it burns a lot longer than a little Robusto. But the regular Aladino, sorry to go on a little tangent, but the regular Aladino is a fantastic smoke. If you like Honduran tobacco, people either love Honduran Puros or they hate them. It's either good or bad. This one's a really good Honduran Puro.
That's a brand that's definitely on the rise, man, and I'm digging what they're doing. I particularly love the Lanceros that they have, but I haven't had a bad one yet. They've all smoked to perfection. They're up here in New England anyway, at least this market. They're definitely catching on. There's trends. Of course, all the big boys are still players, but more and more, top-end boutique companies are overthrowing a lot of the big guys. They're definitely eating their lunch. And
yeah,
Aladino is one of those brands, man. Doing some good things.
Yeah, there would have been a lot higher. I think I was just the lowest on this one. I've smoked a few, and it's just not for me. So I must not be into the Honduran Corojo.
Yeah, like I said, it's you either love it or hate it. And then another cool thing they're doing, they're coming out with a Cameroon. Now, it's not a true African Cameroon like the Baca or the Warzone by Espinosa, but it's using a Honduran-grown Cameroon. So I'm really curious to try it.
When's that coming out? Any idea?
I think it was supposed to be shipping now, but with this Corona thing, and I know Honduras, they're taking it week by week. They've been closing, so I'm going to text my buddy Tom Poehler. He works for JRE, and see. Oh, also Dave Rico in the Midwest, and see if it's shipping anytime soon.
Nice, exciting.
All right, number 8, we actually have a tie. La Aroma de Cuba and Warped 1988.
For those, I'm more partial to the Warped. I have it 2 spots higher on my list. It's another Aganorsa product. That's the second Aganorsa one we've had. Oh, the Epernay is Aganorsa tobacco, but I think that's rolled in Honduras at Races Cubana. But Warped, that one I like. It's a little pricier. It's like $12, I think, for it's a bigger Robusto, but I like it because it's 1988. That's the year I was born. It's the year Kyle was born, and that's the year Andrew was born from the owner of Small Batch. Drew, he was born in '88 as well. So that's a cool little nod.
I thought both sticks were solid. Of the Roma de Cuba, I'm more in line with the Reserve.
Yo, Joe, 1 second. That the chopper drove by and you cut out for that last bit. I heard you said you were more partial to something. That's the last thing I heard.
The Miamor Reserva. That's a particular stick I really reach out for quite a bit. I got a few boxes sitting with age, but
nice.
the original is very solid. And I had both of these 2 sticks, the Warped and the Aroma de Cuba, at 8 and 9, kind of neck and neck. They could have flip flopped either way for me. Both probably not my top 20 brands, but those, with this list that we're given here, I think it's solid ranking, right kind of in the middle there.
Now the sorry, Dom. The La Aromas they're rolled at Pepin's factory in Nicaragua, and I think most of the Mia Moores use a San Andreas wrapper. I could be wrong. I don't know about the Reserva. I'm not sure.
Speaking of warp, though, I was talking with Dave West of CigarNoise the other day, and we were saying how the Skyflower this year may be the best yet, we think.
Oh, I have to go back to that.
Good stuff, Torpedo.
I wonder if that Skyflower or the Warp 1988 has any of that Medio Tiempo in it.
Ooh.
No.
If Medio Tiempo even exists.
That's a topic for another day.
We'll talk about that when we get if we get Indiana on.
It does in the Kudzu Lustrum. Oh, maybe I'm
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, that's a great cigar. Shoulder the Kudzu 5-year anniversary with the Medio Tiempo wrapper. That's a great cigar. One of the best from the trade show.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I want to ask you guys, how's Warp do in San Francisco, the Bay Area and Wisconsin? Because up in New England, there's a very small, limited number of shops that carry the product, and it's tough. It's one of those brands that they are popular, among the geeks of us that are out there, but just for me anyway, it's not as available.
I know my local lounge in Fremont, they have a few facings, don't sell exceptionally well. There was 2 years ago, they still had original release Black Honey on the shelf. People just weren't grabbing them. And I know Napa Cigars, they carry Warped as well. I haven't asked how they do. I think the brand sells more online.
I think you're right, man. That's always one thing that interests me and intrigues me, how certain brands play in various parts of the country. And love connecting with you guys, man. My buddies around the states, and it's different, man. Everywhere you go, wherever you travel, that's half the fun. Get off the plane and hit up the local brick and mortar and see what they got. It's the kid in the candy store, see what's cooking in there.
Yeah, we carry a few facings of Warped. I usually gotta kind of hand sell them. We have the Cloud Hopper. We have the one that comes out around Christmas. Starts with an L, something Rojo or something. We got a few of them. It doesn't move particularly well. I have to hand sell them.
Right.
Coming in tied for 10th now, the Herrera SLE Miami and Oliva Series V.
The Series V, man, for the price point and being a Lancero, I love that cigar. I had that at number 5 on my list. That's just a great cigar. I haven't smoked one in a while, but those Lanceros, I don't like Lanceros for the most part, but that one I like a lot. And then it was tied with the Herrera Stili. With that one, I believe, is the Miami, so it's rolled at I'll Tighten the Bronze. And Willie used to work there back in the day before he went to Drew Estate. That's a good cigar.
That's a great little factory, man. I don't know if you guys have had the privilege of checking it out on Cali Ocho, little Cuba there, man. That is a great little factory. There's literally 9 to 10 rollers in there. Very small operation, but it's a great spot to give a peek at the craft, And they're sneaky good what they're doing in there. Certain sticks. One of the brands I used to rep.
Sorry, garbage truck.
Sounded like an air strike going on, man.
Yeah, you playing Call of Duty?
Were we dropping in, boys?
Yeah, calling it airstrikes from the couch. And
go on, Joe. Sorry.
No, I was just lastly I was going to say, love them or hate them, but Oliva, the price point's right. They always seem to produce, and they're popular. Definitely popular up here in New England, and get a really good rep up here in New England that takes care of the troops too. So it is what it is, man. I don't think this stuff's really going to blow you away, but picture of consistency, and the price is right. So they definitely carved out.
Exactly.
They carved out that piece of the market.
And then you mentioned Cornelius and Anthony. They had a couple cigars rolled there. That was a brand I really liked your stuff. I love the packaging. The new releases now. They did one called the Mistress. That one I couldn't smoke. Those were super strong, man. It had a lot of Lajero in it, but the Gent was super smooth and super good. And then the Cornelius, I believe, was rolled at I'll Tighten the Bronze. That's a good brand. It sucks what happened to them.
It was my number 2 brand here in New England, man. I really got them on the map and did some really solid business. They were number 2 behind Southern Draw, and the Gent, like you mentioned, they got the Half Wheel Consensus number 4 cigar of the year last year. Just a phenomenal stick from Hector Alfonso Sr., the magician, from his mouth. That was the best stick that he's ever made at that point. And, just a total bummer. But still, sticks still to be had out there, and certain ones that I really loved. I try to grab them and stash them. It's gone. They're done, unfortunately. But
hey, Tyler, another podcast idea for the future. I think I have 2 mistresses left in my humidor. Let's just have a strongman episode where we just
my Lord,
get sick. That's probably a bad idea.
Bro, I had to put one down. My stomach, I was sweating. My heart was beating a million miles. I gave the whole box. So I bought a whole box in small batch because I got a really good price on them. I gave the whole box to my friend. I smoked 2 out of there, or I tried to smoke 2.
Yeah, I want to sit on the 2 that I have, see if they mellow out a bit. But, this quarantine, I'm not going to be going to the shop buying cigars, so I might have to smoke through them if I get low.
My humble opinion, the 2 strongest sticks on the market. That Mistress is gone now, but you can still find them. And then the Brimstone, Jacob's Ladder, the newest of Jacob's, just complete ass kicker for me. It's a once a week stick. I normally don't smoke that heavy, and some of that power has muted down since the show in July. But it's still a tremendous ass kicker, man. It's legit. But for those guys that really dig it, that kind of strength level, and you want that power, shameless plug.
Great cigar, Joe. That's a great cigar.
Have you smoked it recently?
No, actually, I haven't. I should go back to it.
Yeah, it's come down. All the there's still the same flavor points that are there, and pronounced. Just the strength level has come down. For me anyway, just a little bit. That's got a Pennsylvania broadleaf wrapper and binder, right? And 3 Lajeros in it, in the filler. Triple Lajero, man. No joke.
Yeah, so you got full strength and full body on that then, with the Maduro wrapper and then the Lajero. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, coming in at number 12, the Room 101 Farce. Now, I think I had this the highest, and Joe, you had this the lowest.
This is one stick that I had not smoked, so it's one of the 4 I haven't sampled yet. So yeah, I had it on the bottom of the list there just for that reason.
Yep, I think the Farce. This is the OG Farce, right? Not the Connecticut.
OG.
Yeah, I think that one is the best of the 2 or the 3 blends.
But yeah, it's the Farce Habano, and I really like the Farce Maduro, but that Habano is a really good cigar. I like that size. The size is called It Is a Lonsdale, which is kind of funny. Yep. I think Matt's doing some really good stuff. If you haven't tried that 10-year anniversary he did with AJ, he only made 500 boxes. That's a great cigar. But yeah, that Habano is good too. The really good Farce Habano.
I have to trade you up for some of those sticks, man, just to get my hands on them. Yeah, I can't get them really here in New England. I haven't seen them anywhere. And but Matt's a really good guy, and had the pleasure of meeting him this past show. I'd like to support him if I can and try some of those sticks.
Yeah, I definitely could send you some, Joe.
Cool.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
All right, we're about halfway through, so I'm going to take this time to say shout out to our sponsor, CigarNoise. check out their app or the website. The app is like Instagram, but for cigar smokers only. Some cool guys on there. I know the Sultans, they use CigarNoise as well. Chatted up with Mo and the boys.
Oh, man. Mo, Danny Boy, good cats.
So tied for 13th place, we have Cohiba and the Enclave Broadleaf by AJ Fernandez.
It's funny, those two cigars couldn't be any more different. One's a Cuban, one's Connecticut Broadleaf from U.S. I'm not a big Cuban guy. That's, I've had probably five of those Robustos. It's a nice smoke. AJ, I don't smoke a ton of AJ stuff. I feel like I smoke more of other people's stuff. Like I smoke a lot of Southern Draw. I smoke Tabernacle a lot. It's a solid cigar, that Broadleaf. I like the Ramon Alonice, I think, the best from AJ, though.
I agree. Same here. I'm more in line with the original Enclave. The box of those they smoke pretty solid, but I think they basically where they should be on this particular list. For us anyway, right in the middle. Same right in line with the Cohiba as well. There's a couple other Cubans I'd smoke a little bit more often if I get my filthy mitts on them, but yeah.
Coming in at number 15, we have the Espinosa Habano. I actually have not smoked this one.
I had that one at number 10. I like a lot of Espinosa stuff. The Habano is a classic smoke from them. I think that's one of the. I think they're known a lot for using that Brazilian tobacco. Yep. The Laranja, but they're also known for their Habano blends too. That's a good cigar.
Yep. Espinosa's gaining steam up here in New England too. It probably it took a little bit slower them to kick off, but we've got a real good rep in the area there. Nick Gossett's putting them on the map, doing a pretty solid job. They got a pretty big portfolio too, and a lot of this stuff's starting to show up. Sorry, Don.
Oh, good. Number 16, another cigar I consider very consistent, is the LFD Double Ajero. So it's the Lancero size. That's why I got it at number 13 on my list. I've said it a million times, I'm not the biggest Lancero. I like that cigar more in different sizes, but LFD makes a really good product. It sucks that they had to lay off some of their reps this week because of the Corona thing. I think our Midwest rep got laid off. He's a great guy, Jared Saunders. Hopefully he can get back on as soon as possible. But LFD, that's a tough brand because you can never get product in, with them. So
it's tough. Our New England rep, Steve, he was one of the casualties too, and good guy working hard. And obviously Carney's a New England guy, so they'll show up the New England guys. But they're consistent. It's like I said, man. It's just the availability of the product is tough. That's what's hurting them a little bit. But that Lancero was pretty solid. I had it number 15.
Number 17. I had this highest on the list, and I'll explain in a second. The Rocky Patel ALR. So this was a cigar. Actually, I did a blind review for small batch, and I think it's one of the highest reviews this year so far. It surprised me. I don't really smoke too many Rocky Patels, but I thought it was pretty enjoyable.
Nice.
I haven't had it in a while, so I can't talk too much about it. I thought it was a solid smoke. It didn't blow me away or anything. There was a lot of other cigars on the list. I had it number 21 of the 22 I smoked. So
the band looks pretty ridiculous, though. I think there's like 3, just giant.
Yeah, and the name, age, limited, and rare. I don't know.
Yep.
Number 18, La Antigüedad by my father.
Oh, and that's the big Gordo size too. That's just a brand. That particular one, that and the El Centurion, the regular one, are just 2 cigars that get lost, I think, in the my father portfolio. There's so many other ones that are better. It's a solid cigar. I had it number 17. I don't remember the last time I smoked one. I don't know the last time I sold one to somebody. Is that a cigar you guys see in a lot of shops or?
I see it about 50-50, man. I'll restart then just to mix it up. My father's isn't really a brand that I reach out for too often, but change it up for the mere fact, selfishly, some of those sticks, some of the facings don't get a lot of play, so they're sitting with a little bit of age on them in the humidor. So for that reason, I'll try to reach out for them and just mix it up, just a palate change,
Yes,
I tried the. Oh, sorry, Dom. Go ahead.
I see a good amount of those around the shops here, but yeah, I don't reach for them often.
I fired up the La Promesa, and it was okay. I mean, I don't know. I think the Le Beiju and the Flore Las Antillas probably a lot better. And the Jaime's a solid one too. The Jaime Garcia. I mean, it's broadleaf. I think that's like your number one, especially that 6x60.
Yep.
I like the Judge too. The Judge is a solid smoke.
Yep, I agree.
Coming in at number 19, H. Upman.
Solid smoke. It's expensive, but that's about all I got on it.
It was a one and done for me. The stick and all, it is what it was, I had to try it. I had to see what it's all about. But not on the rotation, certainly.
All right, number 20. This is the last one before we get into cigars that one or two of us have not smoked. And it's the number one cigar of the year, Aging Room Cuatro Nicaragua.
Yep.
It's okay. I just smoked one. I just fired up the real number one, the Padron right now. It's an okay smoke. I mean, I don't get how it's number one. There's 19 better cigars on this list and probably 500 better cigars out in the wild. So, I mean.
Affirmative. It's tough, man. I don't want to shit on any particular brands or sticks. It's just, for whatever reason, it came in hot. The number one there. It's not for me. I think I had it, 17 down the chain there, but a little bit.
All right, tied for 21st, we have Alec Bradley, Project 40, and EPC Carrillo Core Plus.
Alec, that's a solid cigar. That's out of Jesus Fuego, out of Esteli, Nicaragua. I walked past his factory. It's right across from Perdomos in Esteli. That's one brand you don't see anything of is J Fuego anymore. And Alec Bradley usually uses Raíces Cubana in Honduras to make their cigars. So, I mean, for the price point, it's a solid smoke. I mean, when you get into that $6-7 range, I'm going Charter Oak. I'm going 300 Hands by Southern Draw. I'm going the Intemperance line. There's a lot of other cigars in that price point I would smoke before that, but it's a decent smoke.
For that Project 40, they were definitely enjoyable points, and there was a lot of excitement and hype behind it. So of course you're gonna do our due diligence and check it out, fire it up. There were enjoyable points, and then there were lack of a better term, some lackluster points, and just all the way through, kind of mess for me. But
all right, these last three are pretty much unrated, so they could have scored higher on the list. If more of us had smoked them. That's the Punch Diablo, the Juan Lopez, and the Hoya de Monterrey. You guys have any thoughts on those? Because I have none.
I have not smoked either one of them.
I hate the Punch Diablo. That was...
Back, man, don't hold back.
Yeah, that was... AJ blended it. It's I think Half Wheel rated it like an 81. It's not an enjoyable smoke. It's a cheaper smoke, it's $7, and it's just strong to be strong. It's not strong to have, it's not like the Neanderthal or the Brimstone Jacob's Ladder or anything like that. It's just strong to be strong with no flavor. It doesn't hit my palate well, but it hits a lot of people's palate well because of the price point, I think.
There you go. That's a factor, man. Definitely a factor.
So there you have it. That is our redraft consensus. Oh, I can't talk. consensus rankings 1 through 25 of Cigar Aficionado's top cigars of 2019. Can't argue with that.
Yeah,
one.
so I think it was fun. I think we're gonna go back and go back as far as we can, get some other do some other lists, and this was a weird list this year. There's some really good ones and some very questionable ones on the list, but it's it's just funny how you can pinpoint what brands are going to be on it. Like, Padron's going to be on, Padron, Fuente. There's going to be an Ashton product. There's going to be AJ is going to be on there. My father's. You just know what brands are going to be on there, and then so it's kind of interesting how that works out.
You can kind of scout ahead, man. At least half of the sticks, 13 of them, or even more. Right off the hop. They're going to be up there and in the mix. It is what it is, man. Just one rating, one list, one platform.
Helps sell those sticks, though, I'm sure.
Specifically, some guys just go, they come in with the magazines, man. And, Tyler can attest in the shop there, man. They come up with the magazine, and they specifically want top to bottom. They don't care about anything else. The rest of the humidor, they just seek and destroy whatever's on there.
Yep.
So with the Encore that came out last year, the #1 cigar of the year, a lot of shops that didn't carry anything by EPC wanted to bring in the Encore. Like, yeah, we'll order 10 boxes. And they're like, no, you got to order more of the other stuff. The La Historia, the Inch. And a couple weeks later, they called back and said, yeah, we'll ship you those Encore boxes. So they were trying to sell more of the core line, and people weren't buying it. So, and they had a shit ton of Encore on hand. So It's funny how that works out, You
can't fault them. That's it's certainly the play, man. You gotta draw on when you can, I guess. But then dial back and forth when the numbers don't jive.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't blame them for trying.
No.
Okay, so I should have brought this up last week when we had Mo on. But Joe, you used to rep for Patina too, is that correct?
I still do. Yeah, I love
Nice.
Mo, man. He's some phenomenal stuff. The guy is his bread and butter is flavorful eating. He does a phenomenal job, and I'm so eagerly awaiting his newest release. Newest release there. Get my filthy mitts on when he came into town a couple months back. Had one of the samples, chocolate marshmallow for days, delicious. And his words, not mine. He even tweaked it up a little bit further from there. So, Tyler, you've had even a newer iteration of that, right?
Yeah, it's a damn good smoke. I think it's going to round out his portfolio very nicely. I'm excited, because now you have something for everybody. You got mild, medium, and medium plus the full, depending on your your palate or whatever. It's a great cigar. I'm really excited for it to come out.
From his original two blends, the Connecticut, the newest iteration he has now, all the same delicious flavor points, graham cracker and very creamy, but there's a little bit of a bang in there on that Connecticut that it's going to hit a lot of palates, man. And I'm seeing the Habano is getting more play, but we all know Connecticut's rule the game. Way more lighter smokers that are out there, so you're going to be dabbling back and forth, and you have 3 phenomenal sticks to choose from. And Mo's the best. Once you meet the guy, he's just a good-hearted individual. No bullshit. He's he's as honest as they come. So how do you not support a guy like that? And he makes great product too. So to win.
He's one of the good guys. Yeah, that Connecticut Churchill is my favorite Connecticut. You can give that to any Davidoff smoker, and it's $10 cheaper. It's a great cigar.
Yep.
The Habano might get more play. Let's start with the Connecticut. I call that foreplay.
There you go.
Dropping my LP next week. But no, I wanted to ask. So I was typing Patina the other day, and my phone changed it to Latina. Does that happen with you guys?
No.
The Red 2 rabbit hole. Premium memberships I'm hearing.
Oh boy. All right. Let's jump into the analogy of the week. So Joe, I rate cigars with analogies. I stopped doing it out of 10 just because I think analogies are more relatable and it gives more wiggle room because everyone's preference is different. So this week, if the Fantastic Four were not cigars this time, but people in the cigar industry, what would each character or hero be? Who would they be? And Tyler and I are going to chime in too our thoughts because I didn't prep anything in advance. But let's start with Mr. Fantastic.
Interesting.
So I actually went with cigars on here. I didn't know we were going with people.
Well, give us the cigars. I'm thinking people though.
All right. Well, when I think of Mr. Fantastic, I think of the El Owense Lancero. So I guess you could say Nick Melillo as Mr. Fantastic. I think that the Mr. Fantastic can stretch his arms out and shit, and a Lancero's long, thin. So I think, and Nick's a leader. He does everything with foundation. He blends it. He does all the branding, blends it, branding. He does all the events. I mean, he's a one-man show. Not that Nate and his crew doesn't do stuff, but Nick dabbles in everything. And so I think I think that works out well.
Certainly well thought out. That El Owense Lancero is my favorite stick by Nick too. That thing is absolutely lights out. I like that, man. That's an analogy there.
As far as people were concerned, I was going to go with Pete Johnson, just because of Mr. Fantastic has a little bit of that gray, pepper going on, salt and pepper.
Yeah, a little salt and pepper.
Yeah, I feel like Pete seems pretty aware of things, in charge. He can handle it, doesn't get flustered.
Cool under pressure. Yeah, he's definitely a laid back, calculated individual. That's for sure.
Calculated,
yeah, that's a good
word. Yeah. All right, so now let's go to Invisible Girl, or Mrs. Fantastic. I forget. I'm not sure what you call her. Sue Storm.
Sue Storm.
This one I went with Sharon Holt of Southern Draw.
That's right. And that's where I was going, man.
And then I picked the Desert Rose. But you can talk more. You know her a lot more than I do. But I think that fits really well.
Absolutely nailed it, man. That was I was just jogging my brain for a second there, and she popped up. She's the backbone of the brand. Shirley Roberts, one of those larger than life individuals, and the guys on the road 29, 30 days a month. But Sharon is lights out. Again, dirty. Picture of the brand, man. Total sweetheart, and Sue Storm. There it is. Well done.
All right, now we have The Thing. So when I think of The Thing, I think of maybe someone who you see might be intimidating, but you get talking to them, and there's a soft center. They care. They're not all hardcore and scary.
Saka's my boy. Yeah. Guy's a maniac. For me anyway. Very intimidating, super knowledgeable. Little gruff exterior, but when you have the opportunity to pin him down and really talk tobacco, or he's a big football nut too. The guy behind the rough exterior, the guy really does care about this industry and his particular brands, and kind of a.
I picked.
Go ahead, brother.
I picked cigar. First thing I thought of was Neanderthal, and then that I think Saka works well too, but that's also Skip.
Yeah.
Skip, he can be intimidating, and then when you get to know him, man, he's a dude. He'll give you the shirt off his back. Just hanging out at his house in Esteli and in Austin, he's just super generous, but he's still a guy I know fairly well, and he can be intimidating sometimes. It's kind of funny.
Yep, I get that, man. Sure.
But he's a sweetheart.
Tyler, could you do much with the shirt off of his back? Use it as a do-rag?
I'm pretty sure he wears a bigger shirt than I do now, Dom.
Dang.
I'm a 2X. I bet Skip's
He's a solid. He's coming in at a cool 300.
Yeah, so I'm 290 now, Dom. So I think Skip outweighs me. I'm also like 6 feet taller than him.
All right, my
no
bad.
offense, Skip. And Skip's kind of built like the thing too.
Yeah.
Sturdy. He's got a solid base.
Sturdy legs. It's those flip flops that anchor him down, man. He's well balanced with those flops on. That's what it is.
What is that line from Get Smart? In the new one, Steve Carell says, "I have a very low center of gravity."
Yeah. Uncle Skip.
Moving on to the last one, the Human Torch. Johnny Flame on. Tyler, who do you have, or what do you have, cigar wise?
The Plasencia Alma del Fuego. El Diablo. That's all I got.
Nice.
I don't have a stick, but I got a few personalities that are out there, a couple of wild cards. There's definitely some wild cards in the industry. A couple of guys I work for, Phil Zangi with Debonair, Mike Belty, MLB Cigar.
That's a good one.
Certainly Riste. These guys are absolute masters of their craft, but wild cards for personalities, and they run hot. They run hot, and they run cold too. I don't know. Maybe a little torch in there for those guys.
Nice. Did you guys see the newest Fantastic Four? I didn't even bother watching. It got such bad ratings.
It's not horrible, but it's not good.
Was that in the movie theater? I didn't even.
It came out
like 5 years.
4 years ago? I thought it was like 2.
Maybe 4.
I don't know.
What with Jessica Alba?
No,
there's a newer one.
They did it. Yeah, it's got Michael B. Jordan in it. It's got Miles Teller and the chick from House of Cards is in it.
Oh,
the young.
Right. Yeah.
It's not horrible, but it's not super good.
What else you guys?
Like,
anything else? Been binging anything else? Obviously, Tiger King, right?
Tiger King. That was fucking funny.
Ridiculous.
I didn't watch that through. My housemates had it on, so I've only seen parts of it. It doesn't seem like something I could get into. I know everyone's crazy about it right now. I like the memes.
Oh yeah.
Dom, this is funny. So I was talking to JP Fingers, and we were talking about you and your housemates, and he was talking about his girlfriend when he was in school. She had there it is. She had an aunt. They called her Aunt something or other, and they called it her housemate, and it turned out to be his girlfriend's mom's girlfriend. So we were talking about that. I went on his podcast yesterday, Don, without you.
You did not.
Yeah, now we're even.
Blasphemy. How dare you?
We did a segment just about you.
I'm gonna edit a picture from with your face. It's gonna be worse than the Tiger King one.
Yeah.
We did a segment about you, Dom.
Can't wait. It'll be the episode that I decide not to listen to.
That's what we're talking about.
Well, no, it sucks though, because I usually listen to podcasts on my commutes, but I'm not commuting anymore, so I need to find some time to set aside to listen to them.
Hey, totally random movie. You guys see that movie, the Richard Jewell story? The Olympic bomber?
No, is it good?
Yeah, it was very good. I just threw it on the other night. I'm like, this might end up gaff. It was on the edge of my seat the entire movie, and pretty entertaining.
I'll have to check it out.
Pretty solid movie. Yeah.
I
more time on our hands to catch some of that stuff.
I binge watched Watchmen, the TV show on HBO. It was awesome.
My brothers told me to watch that. I haven't made an HBO account yet, but I think I'm gonna make one so I can watch that and the new season of Westworld.
Oh, love Westworld. That's where it's at. Oh man.
Have you seen the new season? First episodes?
Yeah, I'm caught up. I think 3 episodes in. The 2 or 3 episodes in, and I love it, man. I'm left the edge of my seat every episode, I'm just my jaw's on the floor. I can't believe it. It's different. It's so different from everything else that's out there.
Because I was a bit skeptical now that it's not all Western, because that's what I really liked about the first 2 seasons. So I'm hoping it can still keep my interest, I guess.
I think that Dom. I think they're circling back. I think it's his first couple episodes. You know, I don't want to give too much away, but Dolores is out there. You know, out there in the Gen Pop, but I believe they're circling back a lot of his characters, and there's some. What I heard is there's some new worlds that are gonna be popping up, and it's entertaining. That for me, definitely the Western end of it was pretty cool.
And I love the soundtrack when they take a more modern song and they play it on the piano. They had Heart-Shaped Box by Nirvana. They did Runaway by Kanye. Super good.
Did they do Creep by Radiohead?
I forget I'm not sure off the top of my head.
The Punisher series too. You know, of course, I'm a big Marvel nut. Got the Punisher tattoo. My favorite movie of all time, The Punisher, 1989. Dolph Lundgren. My favorite, you know. But I don't know why I've held back on the Punisher on Netflix, and I'm about 8 or 9 episodes in, and it's phenomenal. I haven't committed to memory the main actor's name who's playing the Punisher, but does a hell of a job.
He's good.
Yeah, it's not all blood and guts and mowing people down. That should really, not sound cheesy, but very good storyline associated with the show as well. Good.
Cool.
Yeah, man. How long have you guys been doing this?
It's our first episode.
Got it.
I think since August.
Excellent, man.
Yeah, so we're still working out the kinks and everything, but
Tyler gets the guests and I do all the busy work, all the editing.
Yeah.
He does all the cigar smoking.
Thankless work, man. No, it's not easy putting that together. My time on Stokie Geeks, year and a half, whatever it was, all the people, and it was a legit studio, a ton of people behind the scenes, and there's so much work involved to get it off the ground. I couldn't thank those guys enough, and but I've missed it, man. I've absolutely missed it. So I'm honored you guys have me on and enjoying my time for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you on again for sure. I mean, because usually we're kind of bullshitting a lot. This time we kind of had a script in place, but you're just like me, man. You smoke a lot and you read a lot and you're listening to all the other podcasts, all the news, and you're checking Half Wheel like I am. So it's nice to have somebody to talk to who knows about cigars, Dom.
Stupid. Last thing, and then we need to get like an outro just later or whatever. Do you guys have a cigar that you purposefully take the wrapper leaf off? Because I have one where it's a Maduro and it's just way too potent and pungent, and I found if I just take that wrapper leaf off, it smokes a lot better for me. But it just looks kind of pretentious or kind of like a goofball if I'm at a shop just taking off a wrapper leaf. I just do it when I'm smoking my own patio.
The visual on that's going to be crazy, man. You probably these guys want to commit you after that, but that's a different exercise. I haven't done that personally, man. But just having, if it's my own experience, cigars that I really enjoy and familiar with, and maybe you're outside smoking and the wrapper takes a beating, starts unraveling a little bit. It happens, and I won't quit on it. It's tobacco. It's still something you love, and I'll give it a go. I'll still power through. But as an exercise to start off that way, that's interesting. I'll have to try that. You want to name what the stick was, or?
It's the Regis Maduro.
Okay.
That might be the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life.
Are you serious?
Yeah. No, I've heard of taking off like an inch of the wrapper with a cutter so you can taste the binder and the filler, but I've never heard of somebody taking out the whole fucking wrapper.
Different smokes for different folks, fool.
Are you so brazen to throw on a different wrapper on top of that cigar? Have you played around with that? Do you have any loose tobacco?
I don't have any wet tobacco. Actually, I might.
I've done that.
I need to double check. I have a bunch of just filler and binders for my job that I'm supposed to throw away. And I haven't kept them in good humidity though, so they're probably not going to be any good for anything than practicing my rolling.
Great Frankenstein's monster. You can bring it back to life. Throw some kind of concoction together. Hey, I got a question for you. Your deathbed cigar. What are you firing up?
Ooh. Shit. Hope if I had the time, I would smoke like a Femur or a Woody or something. Extend my life a little bit.
That's the same thing I was thinking. Like an A size of that Lugione. They have an A size. The Sereno, I grabbed one of those before they went out. Sereno A. I have 2 of those coffins left.
Nice.
What about you, Joe? You got one?
All day, man. Yeah, the Byron 19 Grand Palemus. That's gonna give some love to my boy Oliver, but that is my all-time favorite cigar. And doesn't matter what kind of mood I'm in, you can have the shittiest day. Obviously, it's one of those special cigars, $33, different price point. But if I'm going out with a bang. I'm going out with my favorite, man. Put a smile on my face on the way out.
Nice. Hey, if those of you listening, well, depending on when I post this, April 5th, unless things change, Small Batch Cigars, their Facebook account. If you're not on there, find somebody to add you. But they're posting links to Zoom, Hangouts, Herfs, and April 5th at 2:30 Pacific time, they're actually going to get Oliver on.
Nice.
Yeah, they had Indiana Ortez on last week. They had Mo from Patina on last week. They got Nick Melillo coming this week. It's a fun time.
Excellent.
Dave West is a really cool dude, and he hosts them. And then you get Andrew from Small Batch and some other personalities popping in. TLE Lounge Experience, G Fizzle,
Vlad,
Drew from
Dagley.
Vlad. Yeah, it's a fun time. And then a lot of Small Batch people and CigarNoise people.
Yep.
Excellent.
Well, hey, Joe, thanks again for being on. Appreciate your time, man.
Thank you, boys. Appreciate it. Be safe and appreciate the opportunity. Welcome up.
Thanks.
Rock and roll.
Thanks, Joe.
Later, boys.
Yeah!